All right, right triangle trig. I really like right triangle trig because it is real world applied. So redwood forest, tallest trees there ever were. The person who has measured the height of that tree did not climb up to the top and drop a tape measure. That is not how they measured it. They were actually able to use right triangle trig, which is what I'm about to teach you, to measure how tall that tree is. Okay? So there are 3 trig functions we need to know. They are sine, cosine, and tangent. And we're going to figure out when to use them. So SOHCAHTOA, so if we group these in 3s, will help us know that. Okay? So on a right triangle, if I'm talking about this angle right here, I might call it something called theta. It's just the x we use for angles. The opposite side is always opposite the angle. So anytime you see O, it's for opposite. Okay. H should be the hypotenuse. And it's always across from the right angle. So draw yourself lines every time if you need to. And adjacent means next to. So it's always next to the angle, but it is not the hypotenuse. So we like to do the hypotenuse first and then the adjacent. Okay? So those are your words you need to know. Okay? And then we're going to make fractions out of those. So for part 1 here, we are only going to look at this first page here. Okay? So the example says sine x. First thing I want you to do is circle x so you know where x is. Okay? Well, sine x, according to your front page here, you may have to reference it for a little while. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so opposite over hypotenuse. So from angle X, the opposite, draw yourself a line, opposite. That's 24. Hypotenuse, draw yourself a line across from the right angle. And that's it. The last thing we need to do is reduce the fraction, and that's it. So if you can reduce fractions in your head, reduce it and don't look back. If you need a little help reducing fractions, that's what our calculator is for. So 24 divided by 30. It gives us our decimal first, but if we hit this little blue circle here, it will turn it and be like, oh, it's 4/5. So my answer here is 4/5. And that's it. Okay. Easy peasy. Let's look at a couple more. Okay. So what if I said tangent? So I'm going to look at number 3. So I'm going to do number 1, number 3, and I'll do number 11. And then you can reference all the rest of them in this book. I will complete them, and you can go to class notebook and look at them. Okay? So for tangent Z, here's Z. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Miss Reidner, how did you know that? Okay. Go back up here to TOA and go in that order. So tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. I have that memorized because I've been doing it many, many years. You're going to use your first page to help you. Okay. All right. So opposite is when I draw the line straight across. So that's 24. Adjacent is next to. Now, if this confuses you because you're like, well, I have next to and next to, right? Which one is it? Well, The one across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. I don't need that one. I need the adjacent, so it must be the 10. Okay. So again, terrible at reducing fractions? No worries. It is 12/5 as your final answer. All right, last one I'm going to do together to wrap this video up. A is here. It is cosine. According to my front page, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, so do the easy one first. Hypotenuse is across from the right angle. Okay. Adjacent is next to the angle. And last but not least, (36/39). Hit the little fraction button here. 12/13 is my final answer. So go through, try the others, see what you get, and see if you get the right answer for the next slide.